my name is Lee George. I'm our Director of Marketing here at the James J. Hill Center. I'm also one of the organizers for 1 Million Cups St. Paul, along with Paul Lampland from Great Cloud Studio, who's behind the camera. This is a program that happens every week, and it happens actually in about 66 cities across the United States. And the point is really to showcase our entrepreneurial and our startup community, to give an opportunity for them to have a stage and to give a pitch, and then for us to be what I call a challenging and friendly audience to them. So what our goal is to get our presenter further along down the road with their business than when they came through the door. They're going to have 6 minutes to give a pitch, and we're going to have 20 minutes to ask those questions and give them feedback. And we're really lucky today to have Vinod from CrowdShoppe, and I'm going to turn it right over to you, sir. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much. All right, so how are you doing? It's bright and early morning. It's probably a cloudy day. It's going to get better here, so we'll hope to get better in maybe a month or so. It's not going to be too much snow now, so I can go down and probably have fun. All right, so you may wonder, who am I, and then what am I doing? So my name is Vinod Gopalakrishnan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of CrowdShoppe. What's CrowdShoppe is it's a platform that's going to get you anything, of course, like including pizza for you right from your couch by a simple text message. So hands up if anybody over here has felt, oh my God, I don't want to get out, I don't want to open up any app, I don't want to go and talk to somebody else, I just need my damn pizza. Awesome, that's what I'm talking about. So this is, pizza is probably one just variable here, so it's much more than a pizza, right? We do for doctor appointments, so anything you can think of it to automate the process of getting your reader and tear and then get your whole inconvenience out of the way, so we can actually take care of all those things by a just simple text message. So when I literally say text message, it is literally text message starting from order taking up until the fulfillment and payment. And let the crowd to work for you, and let the crowd to go and get your stuff done while you are actually sitting back and sipping your cocktail or probably a bunch of coffee. That's it. So this is the website here. Just want to give you guys a heads up on how it looks like, and then how you could actually put a crowd to work. So as I talked about, it's much more of a simple service. You just sign up, and then if you're lucky, we'll actually send you a breakfast, and then it's going to be your CrowdShoppe, and from now on, and then you can actually sit and relax. So I have all this information here. So I just want to give you guys an example of here what I really did. Pizza was simple, but I never actually got an order for pizza, by the way. So just kidding. But these are actually the real examples that actually I'm in beta that I did actually in the past about 2 to 3 weeks. So I rustle up some grilled cheese pizza, grilled cheese sandwich, and maybe probably a bunch of fries, and then I got them home, all via text message, got paid, and then I updated the status and everything out. I didn't put all these things in the screen, but I just put one of the crux of the conversation here. So then another guy out here, he wants some help for finding the best caterer for barbecue for his party on home for about party of 50. And then CrowdShoppe recommended maybe a couple of barbecue independent caterer. And that's right there. And then another guy wants to go and eat some best tamale in town. So then we did some research, and then we got back to them with the best top 2 tamale place in the Twin Cities. So that's the product, and then that's the real, thing we tried, and then we helped our customers to figure out, and then they came back and said, wow, this is actually awesome that, I don't have to call anybody, I don't have to open up any phone, I don't have to, get any, probably mobile apps, and like probably a bunch of mobile apps. I remember all these damn things, and even though I have all the preferences set up and things like that. So our vision and mission is to really let the crowd, like people, me and you, to work for you for the things that you need. So literally, like, so we want to take care of like each and individual people in your home from a city. So we are going to be, or we want to be the go-to for the day that you actually wake up, and then the day you actually go to bed. So anything, you come to us. But of course, there are some complications. There are actually some sophistications that we're still working on. But I understand it's more of a broad statement. I'm done. That's awesome question. So right now, it's actually a free service. And then we are thinking about a subscription-based model or a per subscribe, per request-based model. Those are the two models I have right now, but yes?
Who's the crowd that does the sourcing? Is it you?
That's a great question, actually. Yes. Well, I was referring to crowd, and then I'm talking about like you, and you, and you, and you, and probably me. So it's, I want to make this much more, of a hyper local service. So the local people are there, so they know the area, so they are going to be the one who's going to be getting the goods for you. Like maybe Stillwater, I have like a couple of people in Stillwater, or maybe one people in Stillwater that, if you want anything in Stillwater, they will go and service them, and then they'll take care of it. But I can't, go from downtown Minneapolis to, Stillwater. So the crowd is people, like normal people who want to, come and join us. They really believe in our mission and the vision of the company. But right now, yeah, it's me and probably a couple of other people. So if they see me out, so they say hi, okay? Yes?
The first thing I thought of when you said grilled cheese, right? I spent 20 plus years in the food industry, so if I got a bad grilled cheese and I called you, all of a sudden, that's a bad image, I'm not going to call you again. So what have you got in place? How do you control that?
That's actually a great question. So basically, we are not manufacturing grilled cheese, or we are not actually are a catering company that actually have FDA approved or whatnot to get the grilled cheese, right? So we're going to be using the existing ecosystem. I got the Applebee's from. I got the grilled cheese from Applebee's. So you can't go wrong with that. So and then also I give. We will give the customer a choice. Hey, would you like to have that from Applebee's or anywhere in that world, right? So if you're from Stillwater, you kind of know, like where you eat and what kind of things you like. So it's not hard, right? And then so we go get it for you. So we're not really.
Let's say I don't care, you'll go to somebody like Applebee's.
Absolutely. So, yes.
How do you establish a trust factor? Because if it's all SMS, you're not going to be able to see like a rating on someone that they're reliable, they're on time. So how do you establish that trust that was just...
That's a great question. So we, after each request, we send out a survey, through SMS, like maybe about probably three smileys, like simple smileys. They actually, click on, and then that will rate the service and then the quality of the product they actually worked on. So that gets back into our system, and then we will feed it to make sure, what kind of improvements we can take, or, what could we possibly do to get that improved service. And then we send that. It's very transparent. It's actually, people know what kind of service they have, so it's just very open. Yes?
So I just want to get back to this who's the crowd thing.
Sure.
So what comes to mind is you're like Uber, for Hub, for everything else. So the people that are providing the service to me, the customer, isn't necessarily people that you employ, but it can be lots of people just out there.
It can be,
Is that correct?
that's correct, that's correct. So it can be a lot of people out there, but of course, we would like to make sure they're legitimate and everything else. It's not like, so you're not going to let, people sign up and then, they're not going to be good. Of course, there has to be some routine process to make sure, and then all the experts has to be there about,
So you do some
things like that.
vetting of the people that are...
Indeed, of course. Oh, totally. If not, you can't really rely on these people.
Control of quality.
That's right, exactly. But if not, I can't imply, yes, sorry. Go ahead.
My guess is few of us have known you an hour ago. Okay? So, up on the screen is CrowdShoppe, your name, your email address, your cell phone number. That's the first slide.
Okay.
The second slide is CrowdShoppe does whatever it does. And if I can't tell you what CrowdShoppe does in 30 seconds, you're going to have a real problem.
Right on.
And that's sound advice from 50 years of experience to every single one of you here this morning.
Sounds good.
30 seconds.
Right on.
So and to follow up on that, I'm really having a hard time with this because why don't you just pick up the phone and call?
Right.
And the other thing is, I don't know what the value proposition is really. And then who's the target customer?
It's value proposition here, we are really, making it very convenient. That is the value proposition here in a way that, you don't have to, on a bad day that, probably you don't want to talk to anybody or, anything like that. All you want is like something to get it done for me. So we'll take care of it and then we'll fulfill it. So it's basically, that is our main value proposition. Instead of like, you're ruffling through multiple applications, multiple mobile apps and Googling and calling somebody to, okay, how much it's going to take and then how much dollars it's going to take.
Okay, so this is like instant gratification.
It's like instant gratification and then a very, very much convenience to you for anything, out here. So that's...
How many customers do you have?
I have, there are about like 20 people signed up, so far right now. So
It's free right now.
it is free right now.
So you asked them, would you be willing to pay for this? Have you asked them that?
I did ask for them, but I think I need to actually collect more data, probably behind that, and then I can actually go and ask like more informed questions like
Are
that.
you
So
willing to pay for this?
yeah, absolutely.
$10, $20, $25
Yeah.
a month, a year?
Right. That's definitely a great question.
Personally, I think you need to go ask them now.
Right on.
Are you willing to pay for this?
Right now.
I'm sure everybody's heard about Lean Startup.
Yep. Yep.
Do the customer validation.
Sounds good.
I hate to do so.
No, it's okay.
For me, it's just not passing the smell test.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'm kind of getting your concept, but I feel like I need to point out a couple of pieces as well. Okay, so I understand you're trying to create a customer-centric idea, but there are big holes in the customer centricity of your concept because of the fact that when you're offering a customer-centric, time efficient, etc., the customer, it's really redundant. The customer has to communicate to you all the information for you to go communicate to someone else rather than for them to just do it.
Right.
It's really for the ineffective person. And if you're going to deal with the ineffective person, you're going to have lots of blue happening in your situation. And in addition to that, I'm wondering if I really believe that you need to figure out on your end the customer centricity to be seamless. In other words, you're offering a customer-centric solution, yet at the same time, should the customer have a problem with the outcome, now you're going to send them back to the original space and you're not going to resolve it. So that's a major factor that you need to fix or understand that might be a barrier to your success completely.
Right on. So, to point out the first question, actually, in terms of the redundant information, so the first time we actually good to know you, right? So the next one, this customer, I know that, she likes grilled cheese. So it's going to be one time, and then after we actually figured out what you like and then what you don't like, and then the next time you don't have to tell us anything. So that's where, like we come in and say, okay, you don't have to give us like a repetitive amount of information, so we store all this information in our system. In our system, and then the next time the customer texts us, hey, or perhaps, we send a push notification, hey, it's up for lunch. Are you up for a grilled cheese sandwich? So we know those information, so we don't have to go back and forth, all those
And I
things.
understand that, but how large do you want this business to get? How big do you suspect that it can grow? Because with that model, you're looking at a very niche, small clientele that you cater to, and the amount of fees that you're going to have to charge that clientele are going to dictate how large you can grow. And if you don't charge high fees, you're not going to be able to keep up with knowing the needs and desires of each of your clients.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider.
That's right on, actually, yeah. I was talking about, sorry. Yeah, and then in terms of the revenue model, so really, we can't really charge the customers, to answer your question. So, we have to, go and, talk to those retailers and all the other vendors to get their input and then get their fees. So from in terms of the customer standpoint, for for that, it's going to be completely free. So that's the answer for both of your questions. So, yes, what's next?
I'm wondering if you're kind of, if you would start, are you kind of looking at being sort of a personal assistant or something specialized like Uber or diningin.com, something like that, or kind of have the idea like Amazon, but they actually started with books and then, out of their garage, out of his garage,
Right.
and got to all, like kind of a, but he's got, in Amazon, they have a lot of people that are kind of invested and involved with following the rules, but they kind of branched out to everything. So are you kind of looking at this sort of a personal assistant type, or specializing in like Uber, dining in, or trying to kind of do all at once? Or?
So the long-term, strategy is to go in the horizontal way. It's just not like probably, yeah, exactly. Vertical niche is going to be the horizontal niche. That's where we want to go. And then there are a lot of the vertical niche partners are already out there. So I don't want to go and compete with them to for transportation or for some grocery shopping or whatnot. So we will use the best of the best in terms of what's out there in terms of that service, and then we'll try and get that done. So so we want to play more on the horizontal vertical, not on any niche market. So yes, you're right. So it's going to be more of a personal text virtual concierge service.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you capitalizing the company now?
I am capitalizing the company. I mean, there's no, probably liability right now. So this is all, I built, and then my founder built, and then a couple of people actually work for them. So majority of the time, we try to work with the existing vendors out there to get the service for you. Okay, so it's not like, most of the time, and then I want to actually make sure that we use the existing service like Bite Squad and other people to get it done. But if you're so hungry, and then Bite Squad actually do it for like about 45 minutes of time delivery. So, up there, the customer was hungry, so we have to get it done. So our long-term goal is actually to use the crowd to get, to source the information out or to fulfill the customers. But we would like to actually use the existing verticals to fulfill that's what we want to keep it
I
moving.
asked the question, how much have you capitalized?
Oh.
I'm not picking on you, but you need to answer the question succinctly and say it's been internally funded.
It's been solely funded.
Internally funded, we don't need additional capital to move this forward, or do you need additional capital? Because
Currently, yes, you're right. Thanks for putting back to me on the path. Yes, we are actually solely funding, and then we are not expecting any capital right now.
So you're bootstrapping then?
That's correct.
Do you have a day job?
I do have a stage job.
Okay.
That's right. And yeah, so I'm not looking for any funding as of this point in time because I think what we have right now, that will sustain for a little bit of time. Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that, I mean, I think for me, if, I could certainly use help, you know. So for me, it seems like it would be,
We're here to help.
yeah, it seems like it would be a good service, but yeah, you'd have to kind of see who you're catering to would be somebody that would almost need a personal assistant and be able to and willing to pay for that assistant. But then the concern would be, would you lose those people? Would you have them contracted? Because eventually, if you've got a personal assistant kind of catering to one or two clients, would they maybe become dependent and willing to pay them more and try to pull them out from underneath you? Do you see what I mean?
Yep, I do.
I mean, and so how much would you have to pay in order to keep them and to the contract and all that? So I mean, I'm just saying if you're kind of
That's a good point,
thinking
yeah.
along those lines,
Yep.
that's a question that came up to my business.
So it's basically, yeah, it's actually a very valid point. So it's basically, you know, that we want to make sure that you know, as we put on systems together, and then I want to have the ability to actually scale it, not just to get one person to actually service you totally, and then, you know, and then if she or he leaves, and then, you know, then probably the other person will totally go. No, it's not, you know, that point. It's actually, we are building a system in a way that's going to be scalable. If, you know, if it's not me, and then all the information, the system will figure out the information to be helpful for you anytime you want. So that is where, you know, we want to go. That's where we are.
Keep your business going.
That's right, exactly. That's correct. So it's not any interdependent to any one person. If she leaves and then I'm done, no.
Yeah, well, that's something that, I mean,
You're absolutely
your
right.
business, if you're building it to kind of protect yourself.
Totally. Yes.
You were talking about, you know, collecting data from your customers. There's going to be this database, you have this crowd, apparently have access into this. You've got a big security issue there on personal information. I'm just bringing that up to make sure that you can manage and control that and have the right checks and balances on who's going to have access to my data from the customers.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. So as a crowd, and then they won't be having access to any of their preferences, anything like that.
The crowd is sourcing anything that they can't access the.
No, actually, we pull the orders to the crowd. So we, as you know, as a centralized system, we actually dispatch those orders, you know, to the crowd, and then they just fulfill it. So we give them exactly what they want to do, and then where they want to go, and then they're done. It's not like the crowd is actually doing the vetting process to understand the customers and then the whole history background of it. No, as a company, we do it, and then we pass the information down to the crowd to get the job done. Yes.
Two-part question. The first part, in 2 words or less, just help me understand this. Who is your most direct competitor? Just simple.
Okay. Direct competitor. I don't have any direct competitors. One guy is called Go Butler.
TaskRabbit or CrowdShoppe or?
No, TaskRabbit is actually they run all the errands for you. They won't actually do like the similar kind of service like as in like fulfillment. You know, we have text messages and taking payment via text messages and things like that. So you got to go and bid it for that, and then people will actually go and, you know, rate it, and then okay, I'll go with this guy. So it's a little different.
Not any business out there directly fills all of your, you know, differentiators, but in terms of just broad functionality, someone's going to go do you a favor and then pay you in return for it. Who are your competitors? One, just the closest one, first one that comes in.
Go Butler.
What is it?
Go Butler.
How many different are those?
They are different. Okay, we are different in a way that we are actually using the crowd to fulfill the order. They are actually the one they will be using the existing functionality or the ecosystem to actually fulfill the request.
That's all the time we have for questions. Our last one is always after all this feedback and discussion. Now, how does this community help you moving forward?
Awesome, that's a great question. So I am looking for some feedback here, and then so please, go ahead and then probably sign up, and then actually I'm open for like private beta. Actually, I haven't actually rolled out to anybody, or probably a lot of people. So go sign up, and then put like probably 1 million cups on how did you hear about from us, and then we will send you an invite shortly if you can.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
And thanks everybody for being here. Thanks to our coffee sponsor, Syndicate Java. That's the coffee you're drinking. Feel free to stick around. If you do not get our emails, you want to be on our list, there's a sign-up sheet on that table.